let's bring the meeting to order, and I'll start off. Tom Coffin.
Maureen Hickey.
Maureen Howlett.
Flo.
There.
Oh, there she is.
There she is.
Yes,
Hi.
Flo.
Well, I had time. Oh, see, my dog thinks that there are people here. It's okay, Rocky. They're not
Just
here.
us, dog.
Yeah, you met the dog.
I met the dog.
Hey,
Let me just shut the door right here in case maintenance comes. Thank you, Mary.
hush, Rocky. Here,
Okay.
I'm gonna set you up here. There.
Okay. We're all ready.
So we don't have a formal agenda. Why don't we just go right into the financials?
Okay, yeah. As you can see, the end of the year report, there's about $24,500 going back to the town. Obviously, we didn't get to complete the year. You know, it's a good thing. It's money that's available for next year or for whenever they need it. Going forward, as we all know, it's such a big unknown, the financial picture. I mean, I think everybody's being hopeful, but we don't know. So there's that. As you can see,
I was going to ask you if there is a surplus at the end of the fiscal year. Does it roll over into the new fiscal year? Apparently not.
goes back to the
Goes
town.
back to the town. Okay.
Let's see.
Goes
Okay.
back to the town. What happens with our grant money, which pays Mary Ann and the exercise instructors, what wasn't spent there, that gets to stay here, but they don't give you that amount next year in your grant. So our grant is about $60,000. 20,000 of it went unspent there. So we'll only get 40,000 if that's how much the state, I mean, that could all change because that grant is voted on every year. They are talking about possibly reducing the amount of that grant. But
And that grant comes from the state, you said?
yes,
I see.
that's the state formula grant.
I see.
So that's something
The state hasn't passed their budget yet, so.
no.
Right.
So
right.
we have a feeling, I mean, on meetings that I've been at with other COA directors, it may be reduced. I think it will, but I don't know. You know, everything's so up in the air.
Mm.
But, as
When do
are
they-
we here.
When do they typically announce the new budget?
Our budget or the state. The state one takes a while sometimes, as Maureen knows, both Maureens being working for the state, it can, drag on depending on the financial circumstances or whatever's going on in the state at the time.
Our budget is dependent on the state, correct?
What's that?
Our budget is dependent on the state?
No, well, we get ours from local revenues, but they also do get revenues from our state taxes, road taxes, all that kind of stuff. But right now, our budget is set for next year.
Oh, okay.
What may happen, I don't know. I mean,
Right.
we're being optimistic. I think Steve has done a great job, telling everyone the financial picture. He's been very good. I think they've been good through the pandemic, getting a lot of money back from the state, from that CARES Act and FEMA for money that's been spent. I know the town has got over $500,000 back that was spent. So, but I don't know what everybody else's financial business is. I mean, that's the only thing.
Wow.
We'll just, keep an eye on it. The good news is we know there's, we're not spending a lot of money on things. The salary is the biggest thing. No one's here, so we're not spending a lot of money on, paper things and tapes and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Who knows? But, so, and then July, the budget there, the financial report there, I mean, the only thing was payroll salaries and that item from print graphics, that's for a tablecloth that we had made because we decided to take the show on the road and we had a tablecloth made. It says Town of Wakefield. It has that logo on it.
Oh,
And we
nice.
use that because to help identify ourselves. So it looked like we do belong with the town and we're not just, three jamokes sitting up at the common and say, here comes our table, want some hand sanitizer or something. I don't know.
Jokes, you are not.
I know, but
I like that one.
we wanted to just, identify ourselves, so it helps. So, But that's it for the financial picture.
Uh-huh.
That's how
Anybody
it's
have
looking.
any questions, comments? If not, do I hear a motion to accept the financials?
I
So
moved.
moved.
Oh,
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good, they are passed.
Okay.
Judy, have you guys gone through the refrigerator downstairs and gotten rid of everything?
Yep, that's one of the highlights of our time here these past few months. There's nothing in there. We've cleaned out refrigerators, everything. The place really is spick and span. When people come in like to fix stuff, like, don't touch it. It's all disinfected. Don't be touching this stuff. But Mary Ann and I are going to work on another section today, paper goods. So we're going to be moving a lot of stuff around. So,
Okay,
but that is, one of the things we've been doing while, we've been on this kind of altered schedule that we've had, creating, new things for us to do. One of them is cleaning up the building, organizing things a little better over here. Obviously, the days of 8 people at a table are long gone, so we've kind of moved around things in the dining room area. Today, we're also going to adjust the gym area. There are 4 pieces of equipment in there right now. We're going to take 2 out and move them into the hallway.
Oh, that's good.
Because more people want to exercise in the morning.
Mhm.
So we've had to space them. We give everybody an hour and 15 minutes time because then we have to clean it. So we're like, well, if we can get some people, someone can use the treadmill in one room and the rowing machine out in the other, then we could have 2 people actually exercising at the same time. So we're going to try working on that. DPW is going to get us one of these disinfecting machines that's a little better than, we go around with Lysol and Clorox and wipe everything down. This is the big one, the one we see on TV. So we'll be using that. That'll help cut down, I think, our cleaning time. We'll still leave time in between people because we still want to make sure everything's sanitized. And the people that have been using the gym, they too have been wiping stuff down themselves before and after. So
Yeah.
they're practicing good, sanitizing rules.
And people are, what do they do? Sign up for?
Sign up. Yep. We have about 5 or 6 users of the gym right now. People have been calling about it. So I know we'll have a few more, but we just have to watch it because it's just one of those things that some people only want a half hour on the bike. Some people want an hour on this. Somebody wants, 45 minutes on each piece. So just trying to get that little thing together. But, we're working on it. The same with the computer room. We opened up the computer room for public use. And we probably had it started out with a few people using it, but now it's died down to about 3 regular people come in and use it for their, email needs or ordering or whatever, business they have to take care of when they come in. So, that's what we're only open for now. A few people have come and asked, to fax things. That's fine. But we try and just really limit who comes in. So, and following the town's rules of who does come in by having them sign in. We also have the thing that takes your temperature. Just put your wrist out there, takes your temperature, and reminds you to wear a mask. So,
Nice.
So we have that out there. The other thing, when we're not here, what we've been doing is we've been visiting people in town. We have attempted to visit about 130 plus people. We've probably seen about 120, 125 people over the past month and a half. We're starting by using, the roles that we have here who are participants. Flo, now you live closer, we'll go visit you, Flo. Got Tom last week. We started by visiting all the people who are volunteers here, kind of to thank them. And then we went by all the people we took transportation-wise. We try to bring everybody a little treat, a muffin or something, some little thing. And most people are so thrilled. I mean, we have tons and tons of cards that people have sent us. So, they're just happy to see somebody.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's been fun. And it's been good for us too, because, I love working with these people, but it's nice to get outside and, we can see some other people and, see what's going on in their lives as well. So that's been a good thing. We also held a pop-up senior center on the Common on, when did we do that? July 15th. Victor Santinello had the new tax program for seniors that gives them a reduction if they're a circuit breaker recipient on their taxes. They can also have that matched by the town of Wakefield. So Victor presented that at the Common on July 15th with us. We gave out a little ice cream. Steve Mayo was also there, as well as Ann Santos. We invited about 22 people to come because we weren't sure how it would go and we wanted to keep everybody spaced. So it worked out very well. And we were going to do another one this week, but the heat just killed it. It was just too hot to be out there. So we're either going to try again next week or the week after. Marianne and I might take the show on the road for a little quick pop-up just to hand out stuff with a nice tablecloth now that we're not just strange people standing out there giving out away stuff for free. So we might try that tomorrow morning up on the Common. So, you know, that's what we've been doing. We've also, one more thing, the library asked us if we would deliver to their housebound clients. Their volunteers, I guess, do not do that. We're already on the road, so we said, why not? So we did a couple of those for them this week. So, and that was fun too, meeting some different people that, you know, not usual users of our services. And
So Judy, when you go into the house visits, what are you doing? Mask, gloves?
we don't even go inside. This is what we do. We knock on the door, we ring the doorbell, we step away. One of us usually will take our mask off because sometimes people, you can't see who it is. They don't realize, and then they realize it's us, or they recognize one of us from it. And we just stand back, you know, on their front lawns or their back porches. We've seen some lovely gardens. People have invited us into their backyards to see what they've been working on. Some people have some beautiful gardens here in Wakefield that, you know, everybody's home is lovely. And then you go back, you go, wow, this is back here. But, you know, people have been very productive, I think, with their time during this. So, you know, we've seen a lot of people that way, but we haven't gone in anyone's home. Everybody invites us in. Everybody says, oh, come on in. But we stay out, we take the van, we separate ourselves on the van. And like I said, everybody gets a little treat because we don't want to go to someone's home empty-handed. So that's, you know, what we've been up to, you know, trying to keep that connection, let people know we're here.
After the center shut down in March, did anyone continue coming in to get help with their income tax forms?
No, people called on that. That was the most tricky thing that was happening at the time was the taxes. And AARP at the time, they wanted, I believe, to come back and finish some way, either to pick up people's taxes here or to come in and they would do them and someone wait in their car. But I don't think AARP was able to get their volunteers back. I think that was the problem. I think they had high hopes of it, but it just did not, it didn't work. So we told people, you know, here's various ways you can get your taxes done. You know, I reached out to a couple of people if they knew anyone who could do them cheap for seniors. But sadly that came up undone, so.
We had that happen here too, Judy, with the AARP not able to help.
Yep. Yeah.
And we had a lot of irate elders.
Yep, right. Because people want that circuit breaker. That's $1,100 or $1,200 that they rely on. You know, we know if there's a cheap place that seniors go to in Malden or Melrose, and, you know, we said, we don't know, but try them. One woman went there. She goes, oh my gosh, it was only $40, she goes. So she was a happy customer. But other than that, you know, it was, I don't know what people did. We gave a few people the number to the Lowell COA because someone told me that the AARP was working out of Lowell, but I didn't hear back from, you know, any of the people who I gave that number to. I keep looking at you, Maureen, the phone, my little friend.
I know.
Hello, Maureen.
We had one volunteer tax accountant who took as many appointments as she could to do hours, and then the rest we were referring to H&R Block.
Okay.
We figured that most people are getting the government stipend there, so they could maybe afford to pay for their own taxes.
Okay. Yeah. And most of them, like, I think a lot of people did call AARP, H&R Block, like you said. So they did find things. We did have a couple of people who had issues, had already had their taxes done. AARP did respond to them because they already had their stuff in the system and they were able to help them with those issues. But other than that, you know, I hope the people made out well and were able to get their circuit breaker, because in order to get the town one here, you have to have had the mass circuit breaker on there. So, but
Is there, Judy, is there any speculation at town hall as to whether the senior center might reopen this year? Or is the feeling that it's probably not going to happen?
I don't know. It's hard. You watch the news. There's really I get no sense at all. You know, the town has been good enough working with Steve and Ruth and Tom Walsh about letting us doing these little not reopenings, but use of the center, at least try and help people who need to use the internet, the people who do need transportation, you know, people who want to remain active but can't walk when it's 96 degrees outside and can come in here and use the treadmill. I see us opening with that kind of stuff. I don't know. Maybe we could incorporate and work along with I don't know, recreation or another department who may need space. I don't know. It's just such an unknown.
Okay.
I go on meetings with other councils on aging, and when I had brought up on one of the phone calls what we were doing here, some people got panicky, and then I felt like, oh my gosh, we not even be open over here? But then I went on a statewide call, and there's other places they're doing all kinds of stuff. So I'm like, okay, it's just whatever you're comfortable. I mean, we don't want to put anyone's health in jeopardy. And I think the way we have it over here, it's so minimal, you know, they don't see anybody else but us. They have to check in. There's really no one in the building. I mean, and that's why we took the show on the road. I went back to like my roots as when I first started a million years ago as a social worker with kids. I was always on the road every day. You were out in the community. So I said, well, we'll try this. We'll go door to door, start with, the people that we know on our list. If anybody knows anyone who would like a visit, we'll certainly go. We go everywhere. We've learned so many roads in Wakefield, didn't know they existed, and homes, and like I said, beautiful gardens that people have been tending. So it's been very nice.
Maybe you should have like a contest, a vegetable garden contest or something.
That's a good idea. There you go.
Yeah, that is a good idea. Who gets the largest zucchini or something?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. We could do that. Yeah, all those people who are disappointed that the Topsfield Fair they can't bring their pumpkin there. We could go check it.
Let's go check it out. What about doing bringing people in, but limiting your attendance, sort of like what restaurants have been asked to do?
That's what I think we're going to start. We were talking about that possibly for September with some exercise.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We could maybe only put 6 people in a room.
Yeah.
That's it, small. Then I don't know if the exercise instructors, they're all into the Zoom thing here.
Oh,
and,
right.
So they've all been Zooming that. And in the summer, we're slow anyways, exercise-wise, because the instructors, they have families, they vacation themselves as well.
Yeah.
But in the fall, I think there will be that need, people itching to get out. But will everybody want to come out? That's the other thing too.
Yeah. I mean, just from the nursing homes are now doing, they're allowing community dining. So they'll bring people into a central dining room like they usually did, but they have to keep the 6 feet apart. It's just, and they've been able to do some like activities in that same way, or they've done stuff outside, but I mean, I know the meal program is not huge, but at least it would get people, in and get them out. Of course, transporting them is a whole other issue, I guess. So.
Right.
We're doing a drive-up diner in a couple of weeks here.
Oh.
So we're putting our barbecue grills outside, cooking hamburgers, hot dogs, sausage, and we're having chips and soda. So people are going to drive up. We're going to have music playing. They get their food. They drive away. They can park in their car and listen to the music, oldies and stuff like that.
That's a good idea.
That is a good idea. It's so hard, I think.
Parking lot, so that helps us
Yeah.
here, Judy. I know yours isn't.
Yeah,
quite
we
as
could do
large.
a drive-through because you can go around and listen
Right,
for a
right.
couple of notes and move along. But that's an idea. I think Melrose was going to try something like that. She didn't quite have the logistics set up yet, but no, that might be a good idea too. Because when we had the pop-up on the Common, people loved seeing other people. It was amazing how people were so happy to see somebody else. And, it was very nice. It really was. So
Can you do a brown bag lunch on the Common or anything
we
like that?
could. We're working on, we have a couple more ideas that we're thinking of doing, hoping that the weather remains like this, hopefully a little cooler. Like I said, this week we, ditched our plans because it was just too warm. But we do have a few more ideas for the Common. So I don't know if we'll go full out meal. We could think about, I'd probably have to partner with someone. I don't know if Mystic Valley would be able to partner with us on something like that. But I know they're doing.
Judy, they're doing ice cream trucks, yeah, Mystic Valleys.
Well, maybe we could get them to do just a general one. Although going up your way, up to the housing, right?
We had the ice cream truck up at the Lincoln School. We already did one, and we're gonna do the rest of them. But Mystic Valley is the one that's gonna do Harts Hill.
Okay.
So they did hire the ice cream truck, so
Yeah.
they
That's
must have.
great.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it was fun. It was nice. It was short, people came down for an ice
Right.
cream and, we all kind of stood 6 feet apart, but it was nice to see everybody. And same thing, Judy, people just need to get out.
Oh, they do. They just want to see somebody else,
Mm.
We were fortunate
So
to at the
hard.
Common. We had some young kids, not as young as that little girl. Hi there. Some kids from the Wakefield Action Team or Youth. I'm saying the wrong one, but they were nice enough, and they came and handed out the ice cream for us up at the pop-up. They helped us.
There's a whoopie pie truck up like in Rowley.
I saw that. I know. I said we'll have to change our budget. Will become food. It's all food. We don't need paper, just food. That's it.
Right.
Feed them and they will come.
They do, and people do. They come. That's what we were planning. We were going to try a coffee on the Common. We said, okay, let's see if Dunks can get us iced coffees instead of hot coffees for the morning.
Mm.
But that's something that we're working on too. But we want to keep it safe, and we don't want to invite. We don't want to exclude anybody, but we don't want an abundance of people. I don't want to be on the front page and people looking and say, look at these,
Right.
out there.
Yeah.
We're trying to keep it small.
Yeah, like that cruise in Boston.
Yeah, no, we don't want to be on that.
Wasn't that great?
Right.
No. So those are just some of the things that we're thinking of. We are, like you said, Flo, we are trying to think of more ways to get people back in the building. In
Yeah.
September, we're hoping. Just every day you listen to the news, we don't know where we're at.
Exactly. Right.
We're good, but other people are here and
Right.
just
Right.
like, ugh, I don't know. So
Hmm.
hoping for the best,
Yeah.
but being prepared for anything that, comes our way.
Sure.
So-
Well.
That's that. I do have one other item. Tom, I just got the answer. Tom had asked me, the town has a new Council on Aging email box for the board members. And
Oh.
Tom had asked me, but my question to them was, is this an email address that everybody should use instead of using your personal emails? Or is it just for the chairman, Tom, to check, see if anyone in the community has reached out to the board and says, I have a question about this. So
Oh, yeah.
I just see Sherry emailed me now. And the email, don't mind me, let me just read this to myself.
Yeah.
Send to email everything to the board.
So that was Cora
Oh, okay.
back.
So email everything, all our business will now go to this new email address. I'll explain it better once we're off the TV. And then from there, I'll decipher it to your individual personal invoices.
Okay. Or
Yeah.
would we go in to check it or no?
Everything to that. Yeah. No, you'll be able to, Tom can check that way. Just, I think you could be the leader of that, who's ever the chair at the time will say.
Okay.
I'll also monitor it too in case there's anything for anybody there. It might be easier for me. Yeah, if they have not emailed, yeah, because they're trying to, they don't want any violations of the open meeting law, which we don't. We only email ourselves, you know, no personal things. Ours is always just minutes, financial stuff. When's the meeting? I can come and I can't come to it. So, but I will forward this to you guys.
Okay.
All right. I'm just trying to read it. And, yeah. All right. I'll get to that. But Tom, not to brush you off, but that was a good question because when Sherry sent it, like, it's a new thing that all town boards will have an email box. So, and Tom, being as astute as he is, he picked up on it right away and is looking, goes, what am I supposed to do? And then I read it again. I read it once and then kind of moved on. But I'm sorry. And I forget this is recorded. Oh, well. Anyways, but I'm trying to think, what other notes did I wanted to make it quick. Yeah, as far as reopening, I don't know. And, you know, one other thing, we are getting more calls on transportation. No takers yet, but new people wondering how our transportation program works. So I don't know what that's from. I think, as I told you in our last meeting, I think a lot of neighbors and family members are stepping up and are taking care of, you know, their neighbors and family. So that's been a good thing because our transportation numbers aren't overly crazy. For today, for example, I was supposed to be taking someone somewhere, but the daughter said, nope, with COVID and everything that's changed in her workplace, she's off today, so she'll be able to take her mother. So she just, you know, hopped right in and says, I can do it, no problem. So I think that's all I have for you. Any
Short and
questions?
sweet. That's good.
Any questions?
Anybody have anything else?
No?
No?
And if not, we will, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
I.
All right. I thank you, everybody. And Judy, we will all be, I'm sure we'll all be talking at some point.
Yeah, nice job, Judy. You're doing a great job
You
today.
all are.
You
You
are.
means
Thank you.
everybody who's out there with the public. That's a lot of work. Like you said,
Thank you.
I mean, keeping everybody safe over in all the buildings. You
Yeah.
guys up in Danvers, Tom in your neighborhood, Flo and her family and everybody, the food pantry.
Yeah, so take care, everyone. And yeah, Judy, thank you for all you're doing. And
I'll
again,
look for you now on when you're out walking your dog there.
yeah, I'll stop by and you can visit.
It's a Flo. Flo has a big dog.
I drove by Heather this morning. She was walking down the street with all her kids, you know,
Oh,
like,
was she really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I forgot about poor Heather with all those kids.
With
I
all
know.
those kids. Oh, God.
it's like 20 of 8. And I'm like, oh, there's Heather with the
Yeah.
carriage and, you
Yeah.
know,
All
everybody.
All 3 of them.
Yep,
Right.
yep.
She'll want to come back to this board.
Yeah.
That would be a good thing.
It would be.
Yeah.
All right, then, guys. Take care.
Enjoy the rest of the summer.
Judy,
You too. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
bye-bye.